The thing about CTV that I find really intriguing is that the methodology that I teach here in masterclass is what it was born out of. The foundational principles of CTV are here. Price action mastery. And as you start to learn price action mastery here, it absolutely helps you here. They feed each other. This is swing and this is day, and they really support each other. So I would suggest you get it right away, but that's only if you can handle, multiple things. So for Bitcoin, what I wanted to share with you was just my setup narrative. My narrative is Bitcoin just keeps going higher and higher and higher. When I track Bitcoin with the S&P 500 and I look at the VIX and how it affects tech, it has the same effect on Bitcoin. So that's why I don't look at Bitcoin any differently than I do the S&P 500. That's why I have it in my market internals. You can see this pullback here, this little pullback right here a few weeks ago to the daily 50. And I said, if we get a move above the 50, this was back here. If we get a move above the 50 and we break 115, I'm buying it. But this happened so fast. You guys remember, boom, boom. I didn't get a pullback. So you know what? It left without me. No FOMO. And I said, okay, I missed it. I missed this trade. It came back down to retest the 50, but it broke it. Found support here on the 200. And as soon as we got the reversal and the confirmation that it's moving higher, now I have a setup, the beginnings of a setup reversal going higher, going higher, going higher, going higher. Support here, right? Absolutely have the makings of a reversal. So my narrative is that Bitcoin's going to go higher. My setup is that it found support at the 200 and it's now reversing up off of it. And I think it could trade back up to the previous high. That would be my target. My first target would probably be 120 and then back up to the previous swing. Target 1, target 2. But I need an entry. So my entry was if I can get a close above the daily 50. Remember last time, daily 50, 15,000. Again, I need a close above the 50, 15,000. If it retests that same level, I'll take this damn trade. I won't miss it this time. So if you look at what happened here, we broke above the 50. We closed above the 50, but look at what the close was. 114,453. We went above it, but we closed below 115. No trigger. What happened the next day? Lower. Now we break the 50, we break the 100, and now we're going down. I'm fine with that. To me, that's just close the gap. Come down here and close the gap. Let me see if we can hold that level. And then when you go higher and break the 50 again, guess what you have? 3 higher lows. Isn't that beautiful? This right here is so much better than this. Do you understand that? I want it to pull back. I want to miss the trade because I want as much support. I don't want to have a gap sitting here. Close that gap, right, daughter? We must close all the gaps. Very important, right? We talked about this actually, daughter and I. We talked about gap closing earlier. So everybody stop thinking what you're thinking. So here we are, like boom, close the gap. But if we close, look at the wicks here, boom, boom. If we close these gaps and then we go higher and break above again, look at this, boom. It creates another support, another support. Look at that. That is absolute magic. And I'll trade that right up to 120. So this worked. I just couldn't get an entry. I don't buy like this. I wait for the pullback and get a good price so that when this happens, I'm making money. You don't want to buy here, and by the time you're here, you're even. Well, how could you be even? Well, because of theta decay. You overpaid because the premium was too high. And then when premium started to decay, even though price went up, you hardly made any money. I don't buy on those moves. I would have loved to have seen it do this and this. Give me a wick. Boom, 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 boom. We're right there. Give it to me right there, right? Boom, boom. That would have been beautiful. But it didn't. It just took off without me. That's okay. That's okay. So down she goes. Bang. Support. Bang. Resistance. That's the 100 period moving average. Let's go to retest it. Well, we gapped up through it. Now we're pulling back. I want it to pull back, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't like this empty gap. So we close the gap. Boom. And if we can hold this and push higher, that's me. That's how to trade. Yeah, Falcon, it's cool, right? It's just some. If you aren't shown this, if nobody takes the time to show you this for proper entry, setup, and trigger, it's so much of the game that you're missing, right? Like if you wanted Bitcoin and you just bought it because it was going higher, you would have paid too much, and then it would have reversed. If you shorted it here, it would have bounced off this and you'd be making no money. If you bought it here on the gap up, bang, 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 you're not making money. How the fuck do you know how to trade this stock? Look at this chart. This makes no sense. This will frustrate any trader. This right here will frustrate any trader. Where do you enter? Where do you take the trade? There's literally no spot here to take the trade unless you were smart enough to buy it right here. But, who knew it was going to gap, gap, gap and then die? There's no place to take the trade. But if you like the stock and you see the structure, you learn what a setup is and what is your trigger. What is the best way that you can enter the trade elegantly? And that's what we call it in CTV world. We call our entries elegant entries, because just buying on the shift, there's nothing elegant about it. It's just, oh yeah, let's buy it on the shift. And then it pulls back. You're like, oh crap. But then it does this. And you're like, oh crap, I should have stayed in. How about you would have been better off waiting for this and getting it here and that's what I wanted. But you'd never know this if someone didn't show it to you. And that's my job.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comment section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.